is little Barney. He's decided to run around bipedally for some reason or other. We're not really too sure. He was in a little bit of a scuffle and got bitten on his shoulder. So I think the shoulder's giving him a little bit of trouble and is quite sore. We have had a look at it. We can't see that it's anything serious, but it is leading to some crazy behavior at the moment. So we're just observing him, and we got a little bit of footage of him running around like a little baby human, interacting with everybody else in the troop. Barney is very attached to his mother and doesn't let her go out of his sight very often. So he's always running around looking for her, trying to stay close to her when he can. Little Barney looking for his mom Hazel. You can hear him calling for her in a minute and trying to find out where she is. This plea quickly draws the attention of other mothers who come to see what's wrong, to see if they can help. But of course he's having none of it and runs off to mom. Gets a big hug and of course they disappear. You can hear Hazel talking in the background, little Barney inside the feeding cage drinking. You can see he's using both hands quite well without any problem, even though the one is hanging down. Doesn't look to be painful or anything like that. Normally if things are painful for monkeys they grind their teeth, but he seems to be managing and coping with this quite well. There's Hazel waiting for him to come out and see that everything's okay.
Just a group of bandits grooming. That's Ewok there, grooming a bandit I don't know the name of, but she looks very, very relaxed. This is Chica grooming Barney. Barney loving it. Chica, stop running off with Barney. He's not your toy. Or yours. See, he's telling you. And back to eating.
Little Satchmo in Disneyland. We're having quite a bit of rain at the moment, so the enclosures aren't really good to do introductions because the other monkeys hide in the trees and don't come down while it's raining. So of course this lot are all having a little bit of fun socializing with everybody in Disneyland. This is Matty Jr. and Satchmo basically playing around and having fun together. Turk looking a lot happier and ready to go back up and back to D&D to carry on with integration.
The penis looks a bit red.
Barney and his mom Hazel, you'll always see them together. He doesn't really seem to trust everybody else after his little incident, and he's always following her around or looking out where she is. And sometimes other monkeys do like trying to pick him up, but he's very quick to try and get back to mom. Jumps in mom's arms and she quickly gives him a once over just to make sure everything's working properly. He certainly loves his food, and I think it's a big toss up between mom and the food. In the end of the day, he just won't let it go, sort of hangs on it, and most of the time you see him running up and down from one food pile to the other, and sort of forgets where mom is, and then realizes he's on his own, and it's a quick look for her and darts off to go and sit by her again, and then of course it's looking for food. So he's quite active and really having a good time.
In the rain. It's like a surprise, this one.
This is Hugo, one of the many amazing volunteers helping out in the afternoon, helping our local guys get the food into the enclosures.
So we can get it over. This is a big moment. Whoa! Huh? In swimming.
This is my dog Timmy, enjoying the rain. You can see how much we've had. This is one of our little temporary dams we got. It doesn't always stay full with water, but when we get enough rain it does fill up, and he's just loving having a little bit of a swim. The other dog, George, is a bit too scared to go in, so he just watches from the embankment, but they're also having a great time enjoying the rainy weather. Hopefully some of you have been watching the episodes will recognize little Skippy with Martha. They are coming on very, very well. Integration's going fantastic. She loves her little baby and really looking after it, and I think he's just too happy to have such a fantastic mom. This is down at the Robert intro cage. Mom's just looking out and seeing all the other monkeys, but of course it's also still quite damp and raining out there, and so they are going to stay in a little bit while it's wet. When the weather improves and things like this, there'll be a little bit more of the integration, or getting them to interact a bit more with the troop on the side. Nothing like a bit of pawpaw to keep you going. It's one thing these little orphans really enjoy the food, especially the fruits and things like this, so it's something they look forward to. It's also cut grass that's been thrown into the enclosure, which they like to play with.
So just a quick update from the skunky intro cage, where we have orphans Rene and Button. This is Button in front of me and Rene on the ground here, the slightly smaller one, still with foster mum Martha, who's been looking after them both. But of course, as you can see, lots of interest from the troop as well. There's always at least one at the fence. So these guys are almost 3 months old, which is our release age. They both look very healthy, very happy. They're starting to get losing their baby coats, as their coats now become lighter coloured, slightly golden, and they start to fill out a bit more, putting on a bit of size. As you can see, they don't quite look like babies anymore. So hopefully in a week or 2 weeks, I think they're scheduled to go out in 2 weeks now, so yeah, it's just a matter of time. And of course we just wait till they're 3 months old. It's just a little bit safer when you send them out into big troops. If you send them out too early and something goes wrong, it can be very difficult to get them back. So we wait till they're 3 months, and it means that they can go a while without drinking milk, because that can be a problem when they go out for the first time. I think we chose a great pairing with these two. Of course we wanted 2 females, 2 little girls, as the troop is male heavy. As the other youngest monkey in here, I think, is Greg, who's about 8 years old. So a bit of a generation gap, but hopefully these guys are the start of the new troop build. So we're now approaching the H&B enclosure, the Holden Barrington enclosure, and this is our newest Vervet troop enclosure, this was built for the sole purpose of starting a troop from the many monkeys which were in the skunky intro cages. So we started this trip with the idea of getting them over here. So we had a group of 7, who we call the family. We started this trip off, and then after that we gradually integrated one at a time. So there's now up to, I think it's 12 now in the trip. So we've got 3 intro cages. One of them is this double cage. We do like to keep one cage free around each enclosure, in case we need to bring in a troop monkey for checks due to injury, illness, something like that. It's always nice to have one free, just in case. On the left here we have Skylar. So she's not actually a skunky monkey. She was on the side of the Robert enclosure, but her roommate passed away, and I bring her over here. She's super friendly. The troop actually love her already. This beautiful male here is Jinx. So Jinx moved from skunky. So he's actually next in line. It is a male we're going to put in next, as there only is 4 males in this troop. So this is Yankee. Yeah, she's very talkative. So she's a feisty one. She's a feisty little girl. So we're not sure how this integration is going to go. So imagine this one will be a bit more interesting. So she's going to be last from this group, of course. We're all looking forward to this one to see how it goes. So for now she'll be in here. Again, just getting used to the troop, getting used to each other. They do, when we move them over, they do spend quite a bit of time alongside the troop, just to get familiar with each other. You never want to put them in, they're complete strangers.
This is Nora in Saf Troop. She is an orphan from 2017. She's doing great. And here's Shamesh, who also came with her. This is Delilah. She's the alpha female in Saf Troop. You can recognize her by the white above her lip. It looks a little bit like a frog face. And she also has green on her chest because she's rubbing her belly against trees with moss. Here we have Luca, Dobby, Karla and Monkey ready to be released to the troop in a few minutes. Getting some nice snacks before going out. And then Tracy will open the door.
Hi. So we're going to sit you at that feeding cage once they go out. So you can grab yourself a chair and then grab the milks and take them down.
Do you want me to go get a different chair? Or one of these?
One of these.
Put some Dobby on it. I'll take this one then, since no one's in it.
Little milk monster.
Yeah, sure.
Dobby. This is Karla. Dobby will down this bowl. He won't leave until it's finished. Just go, 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 go.
I want him the other side of them, really.
Go, go, go.
You sure?
Yeah, okay.
See, Dobby's running off.
For God's sake.
Luca, go on, Karla. Hey,
Keep it open.
I don't want to let Karla out as well.
Karla might go though. Go ahead, keep it open. Open, open, open. Go, go, go.
Looks like Dobby might follow.
Just in the bush here. Come on, Dobby. Okay, well, Karla's out. Being approached by the alpha female, Zebedee. Couple of juves. She's actually with Zebedee now. Let's look on the right at the back. Getting the alpha approval. Oh, there's Luca just slowly disappearing.
Thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully next week we'll see Dobby get out and a lot more updates from a lot of the other integrations. See you next week.
And there she goes.